Om Sadashivasamarampham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam. Okay, so we completed the fifth chapter last time. Any questions, clarification, shoot, otherwise we'll go into the sixth chapter.
Swamiji, I did have a question about Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti. You had described in the last class Videha Mukti as being Krama Mukti.
Yeah.
However, I wanted to also clarify for a person who has the knowledge but probably doesn't have the Chitta Naishcharyam to abide in the knowledge, that they don't have the Nishtha. Isn't that such a person would not have Jivan Mukti but have Videha Mukti, or is that not a thing at all?
No, it can be there if a certain amount of Nishtha is there but not complete. Now, it's very difficult to judge the Nishtha part. So, Puja Swamiji even never used to bother about the Nishtha, But it is there in all the texts. That's why I'm saying it. Experientially, we see it in people. Otherwise, he used to say, okay, either you know or you don't know. But there is a thing, in fact, later on he said that if you have a certain amount of Nishtha, then Videha Mukti will be there when the body drops. There is nothing to hold you back because the vision is clear. Only there was some lack in the way you could enjoy that moksha while living. Okay? Not because of any major issues. Then Videha Mukti is there. If the issues are a bit more there in terms of karma, etc., then of course Krama Mukti will take place. Now, those who have listened but not had enough clarity, they will be what he will say in this chapter. Suchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Brashta Vijayati, all that he will say, Yeah. So the idea is that by studying Gita, Vedanta, etc., there is nothing to lose. You build up on what you have already understood. Next lifetime you will take it like a duck taking to water. In fact, most people who have walked off early and stuck to it, that's important, stuck to it, are people who are yoga prashtas in their previous lifetimes. Like I suddenly remembering, next year would be the 50th year of me walking out of the house and joining the ashram. 50 years, a lifetime has gone by without me realizing it. Someone pointed it out to me. Samjhi, 76 back, 50 years hone wala hai. It came in the context of the emergency 50 years, because this is the 50th anniversary of the emergency declared in India by Indira Gandhi. Anyway, so those who have generally walked out early and stuck are yoga prashta in the previous lifetime. So any other questions, clarifications before we go ahead? Okay, so sannyasa, karma yoga, all that. At first glance it looks as though there are two paths. Yeah, because very clear cut. Either pursue the truth along with everything else, pursue the truth to the exclusion of everything else. The whole question is only there. So really speaking, they are not different, even though it looks like two different things. They are not really different. Because the means for moksha is the same, knowledge, not the lifestyle. The lifestyle does not ensure moksha. If the lifestyle ensured moksha, you would get moksha for $50. The color of this cloth. Go buy some saffron, dye it. Not the lifestyle. It's the learning that matters. So, They're not really different. Only the way of approach. That's why I always use that example. Are you taking the expressway or are you taking the scenic route? What are you taking? Your choice. Yeah. The choice will depend upon your desires, your responsibilities, your stage in life. Like I know a friend of mine, few years younger than me. He wanted to take it up full time, but his kids were too young. So responsibilities held him back. In fact, he even came and told Swamiji, let me do a course at least. Swamiji said, with a 3-year-old kid, your younger one is 2, the older one is 5. You can't be walking out for 3 years from your home. It's not done. Yeah. So those type of things will come up in life. Yeah. Responsibilities will come. Your own desires can come. What is your preference? What lifestyle do you prefer? Yeah. That's it. It's just a sheer preference. Yeah. Or it could be because of desires also. I told you the case of one of my batchmates. Who kept... Yeah. He had desires to fulfill. He wanted to dress up well. Yeah. Things like that. Otherwise, they'll create, if you have those type of desires, it will create problems once you take sannyasa. May happen, may not happen in your life. That's your prarabdha. So, anything else? Or fifth chapter is fairly clear. Okay. Sixth chapter. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Just one last thing. This is again just academic interest. The very last shloka of the 5th chapter.
Yeah.
The Puttaram Yajna Tapasam. So one who essentially knows that he and the Lord are.
Yeah.
So is that a Mahavakya? Could we consider?
Yeah. In meditation, what is the? That is Yajnam. Yeah. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Suhurdam Sarva Bhutvanam Nyatva Mam Shanti Machakati. So the first is bringing Ishvara into your dhyana. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam, etc. Now what is the Swarupa of Ishvara? Not different from me. You need Ishvara, you can't sidestep Ishvara. I have known modern teachers, Asampradaya teachers, I have mentioned their names also, Muji, etc., who try to sidestep Ishvara. They are very good in explaining I am consciousness. But this consciousness is everything they struggle with because Ishvara is left out. So there is a struggle. Plus for growth you need Ishvara in your life. Okay. Then the 6th chapter is called Dhyana Yoga. The yoga of contemplation. But if you look at it, there are a few verses on contemplation. Most of the verses are focused on the contemplator, on the meditator. Why? Because the meditator is more important than the meditation. The meditator that is more important. We meditate, especially initial stages, etc., to get a contemplative mind. So the idea is that the meditation is a practice you are using to get a contemplative mind. So the aim is that, to become a contemplative person. Contemplative person doesn't mean you're always going as though you're half asleep. Not laughing, not joking. Yeah, mind is peaceful, centered. Whether you're sitting down simply serious or you are laughing and joking around, talking to your beloved, fighting a battle, you're fine, you're calm, you're centered. That type of a mind. Because that type of a mind will not miss sight of the truth. So that is the more aim. Therefore, the person becomes more important. So he starts from where he left off. Okay. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Anashrita Karma Phalam Karyam Karma Karoti Yaha Sa Sannyasi Cha Yogi Cha Na Niragnar Na Chakriyaha. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Without Arjuna's question, Krishna himself is initiating the thing. Anashrita Karma Phalam. Without depending. Okay? Without depending. Anashritam. Ashritam to depend upon. Having an ashraya, a dependence. Anashritam without depending. On karma phalam, the result of actions. The end that you want. Karyam karma karoti yaha. Who does what he has to do. Karyam karma, meaning your duties, etc. Karyam karma karoti yaha. Sa sannyasi cha yogi cha. He is both a sannyasi and a yogi. Why? He is describing the karma yogi actually. But when you live a karma yoga lifestyle, you will get the mindset of a sannyasi in time. Na cha niragnih na cha akriyaha. Not a person who has renounced the fire and all actions. Now, what is this renouncing the fire? Swamiji, you renounce the fire, how do you make a cup of tea then? Because even microwave is fire only, you know. That's not the idea. Agni Samyoga stands for the rituals that a Vaidika was supposed to do. There was no Vaidika lifestyle without having a little bit fire rituals in your life. You start as a brahmachari. I am talking of a normal person. Not talking about someone who is going to become a priest and things like that. No. A normal person. As a brahmachari, you have samhita dhanam. It's a simple ritual. It will take 10-15 minutes. That's all. But you light up the fire, the homakunda, small homakunda. Okay. That's why outside your house, there will always be a homakunda for a person like this. Okay. Small homa. 10-15 minutes. So nowadays that has been reduced to only Sandhya Vandanam. And I'm sure there are people who ask me what is Sandhya Vandanam. Sandhya meaning the break, the joining between day and night, early morning, late evening, dawn and dusk. Okay, you are supposed to do Gayatri Japa, and there is a small ritual along with that. At least do the Gayatri Japa, if nothing else. It has been reduced to that much. Okay. So, fire ritual was there as a brahmachari. Then you got married. Then you are Nitya Agnihotri then after that. Every day you will do Agnihotram. Agnihotram is meant for married people. So, it's a little bit more elaborate. About 20-25 minutes it will take. So, nowadays, in fact, after the Mahabharata, all these fire rituals got replaced by Pauranik rituals. The Vedika rituals got replaced by Pauranika Puja, etc. Okay. Where you will actually put a murti and worship, etc. In the Vedic age, there were no murtis. There were names, Rama, Krishna, etc. was there in the Veda. But it was used in a different meaning. Okay. In its essential Swarupa it was used. In the Puranic age, they got fleshed out as Devi, Devatas, etc. Okay. So, Niragnihi means one who has given up those rituals in life. The moment you become a brahmachari, that's about 6 years old. Okay? You pick up the fire. Why? Because you are initiated into the Vedic lifestyle. You are initiated into the Vedic lifestyle with the Yajnapavitam, the sacred thread. 6, 8. Okay. Then you go to the Gurukula. Education was also always in the hands of the rishis. You went and studied in the Gurukula. So there is no sense of entitlement. Mom, dad, Gurukula. The prince and the carpenter's son, they studied, stayed in the same rooms, studied the same things. So Kshatriya children went a little later to the Gurukulas because there were certain traditions they had to pick up at home. Certain martial traditions, etc. had to be picked up at home. So remember, from the age of 6 onwards, you are initiated into this fire. Then, once you become a Grahastha, something more is added. Those of you who wear the sacred thread, once you get married, instead of 3, you wear 6, isn't it? Indicating an increased responsibility. Increased responsibility. So you do that. Then you retire, you hand over everything to your son. So the main rituals are handed over to your son, but certain basic things you still do. Because the parampara takes on, but your personal growth is still done, called Vanaprastha. So at Vanaprastha stage, it is more of contemplation, etc. Tapas. A lot of tapas will be done as a Vanaprasthi. Okay. Then sannyasa. This was the life mapping for everyone. So you retire for some time, you are there, and then after that what? Take up sannyasa. Okay. So niragnihi meant giving up this fire. Agni. Akriyaha. You are no more involved as a player in life. You are not in the game. You are not in the game. Sannyasa means non-competitiveness. You can't be competitive as a sannyasi. In fact, there's only vow that is given, not a competitor. Where are you competing? What is there to compete? No. You are moksha margi. You do a few things maybe because you have to run the thing. You have to teach. Previously, people used to wait for the students to come and learn. Nowadays, the level of ignorance is so much after Macaulay interfering with our education system that you don't even know something like this exists. So we have to do some reaching out programs, etc. So that much activity is there. Or putting up an ashram. Like for those of you who don't know, yesterday we did the Bhumi Puja. Thursday, Friday we are busy with the Bhumi Puja, etc. Tuesday I am going again to meet the contractor and with the engineers and everything because they had 1 or 2 doubts to clarify. And we'll start constructing. So if householders want to put up homes, sadhus want bigger, they want a whole ashram. Why do you take up such samsara? Really, it's a big samsara. And I'm taking it up in my old age. Why? Keep the parampara going. You all, probably your children also, I'll be there around. Your grandchildren, I won't be around. So the parampara will take care of it. As it is, many of you have not met my Guru. Swami Dayananda Saraswati, many of you have not met. But okay, because of the parampara, you have met me. So definitely your grandchildren will not meet me. Or probably they'll just meet. Swami uncle is nice. He allows us to become mischievous. That's all they will remember. Then the parampara has to go and take forward. So you will do activity, but not anashrita karma phala. What if it doesn't work out? In fact, I had given up of the idea. I said it's not meant to work out. Forget it. I looked around 23 places because my guru told me I went 23 places I saw. Not one had a clear title. Forget everything else. So I said, forget it. This is not meant for me. Then when he was taking samadhi, he said, I want you to put up an ashram. I said, oh my God. At this stage, when he is talking about it, it is serious. So I picked it up again. I said, forget it. This one thing I can't fulfill my guru. Okay. But he wanted it, so now it happened. This is how things do. Sannyasis do a lot. In fact, I written a small article on this. The difference between a corporate life and a sadhu life. Both are equally stressful. Can be equally stressful. But a sannyasi doesn't have stress. He can be tired, but he doesn't have stress. Why? Inside it is all clear. There's a small story like that going around on the YouTube also. I don't know how far it is true. Sundar Pichai meeting Gauran Das. Both were batchmates in IIT. And talking about the different stress levels. So in this latest newsletter, you will find a small article by me on that also. Okay. So niragnihi na kriya. Just by giving up the ritual part. So many characters are given up the rituals. They don't even know that they have to do rituals. Have they become great jnanis in the process? We are seculars. We don't believe in rituals. All these rituals are not for me. All the idiotic bhuza bara hai andar. All the nonsense is there in your head and you're saying, oh, all these are not meant for. Don't give me Ishvara, etc. Give me direct Brahman. If I use Rishikesh language, I'll say, Gadde kahin ka. Rishikesh language is not the ones you are going to our ashram now. My time language. When we are studying, we are living on Bhiksha. Gadde kahan ka aaya hai. All nonsense is filled in your head and you say they won't hold that. Direct Brahman you want to catch. Don't work like that. Niragni na kriya. They should have all become wise people. Because anyway, who does all this nowadays? But kriyas you are doing, worldly actions. In fact, you are running around like a headless chicken. No, Swamiji, that is the problem. I decided to stop all this modern lifestyle of competition, etc. Not meant for me. Okay. Then do non-competitive work. There's too much of corruption, this, that. What are you looking for? Perfect job in the world? Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Why? Because you are not perfect. Simple as that. It's like this man telling me, Swamiji, for years I was looking for a perfect girl. I said, did you find her? Yes, Swamiji, I found what I thought was perfect. Achha, and then what happened? She was looking for the perfect man and I wasn't that. There's nothing like a perfect job, perfect company, perfect organization, perfect society. That's why it's called utopia. Utopia is there in some book. Now there is perfection. Where does it exist? Facebook. If you look at people's life on Facebook, oh my God, it looks so perfect. And I know some of them. I know their personal lives is a mess. Professional life is a mess. But on Facebook, it looks perfect. Yeah, I know some of them personally. I follow a lot of people just to see what's happening. What is this thing happening? I'm an alpha male, I'm an alpha woman. Revade, you come and cry to me, I know how much alpha you are. So, this question of just giving up and thinking you become great, kuch nahi hone wala hai. Nothing will happen. Growth happens by getting involved in life. This is one thing people have to keep in mind. You will grow only when you are involved in life. Life is not a spectator sport. There used to be a series on the TV called Prime Bodies. They used to teach various forms of exercise. And many of people I knew used to watch it regularly. I said, you will not get a prime body by watching Prime Bodies. Either get up from your butt and do some of those exercises or go for a walk minimum. Follow some of their exercises. So it looks so good. I said, yeah, it looks good. But do it now. It's not a spectator sport. There are spectator sports if you just want to be a spectator. It's like commenting on cricket or football or something. Great comments. You don't know how to kick a ball. You don't know how to hold a bat properly. But a great commentator. Critics. No growth takes place. no achievement happens. Okay? So some time of getting involved, doing things, etc. is necessary. Just being akriya will not help. Anashrita karma phalam, without depending upon that. That means what? Karma yoga buddhi. If you have that karma yoga buddhi, you are not dependent on it. Even if you want it badly, you are not dependent on it. Because you are willing to accept whatever happens, success or failure. That means that is not dependent. If you are willing to accept failure, it is not dependence. Like I am supposed to go to UK. I don't know whether I will get the visa or not. Thursday evening at the land, I got a message. The decision has been taken, your passport has come back. Please come and collect it. I came back Friday evening at 5 o'clock. Passport office is closed. I mean, not passport office. The visa office is closed on Friday evening. Then when am I going to take? Monday. Samjhi, aren't you anxious or whatever is the decision is taken, hai udhar na. Monday dekh lega. How can you live with the stress? What stress? Either it is granted or not granted. It is two possibilities. But you are living with the tension. What tension? There is no tension. Small things. Small things or kya? I am giving a small example. There can be bigger examples also. So the whole question is na niragni na chakriya. That is not the thing. Anashrita karma phalam yakaroti. So yogi sa sannyasi cha. Yogi right now, the sannyasa contemplative mindset, he will get in time. Therefore he is saying is both. Okay. Then he is clarifying it further. Yam sannyasamiti prahu yogam tad vidhi pandavaha nahi asanyasa sankalpaha yogi bhavati kaschana. Yam sannyasamiti prahu. What you talk about sannyasa? Yogam tad vidhi pandava. Understand the same thing as yoga. Because what is sannyasa? The mindset. Things happen, don't happen. You are not emotionally dependent on anything. Not as an act of will, as an act of growth. This is very important. Because I have seen youngsters, right from my time onwards, at least 50 years I have seen this happening. That I will not get dependent on anything. Samji, I am ready to join the ashram. I am not dependent on anything. Really? Then they join the ashram. Miss the attention. You are an executive, so you are missing that attention. So you are trying to set things right in the admin block. With the administration, this thing. You have come to be a student, they forget all that. But it is not happening properly. Let it not happen properly. Not your job. If somebody asks you to do it, that time do it. Now don't do it. Focus on your studies. Let them run it. But it's not perfect. It is not perfect. Not meant to be. You think what you're doing is perfect, or? You have an idea, they have an idea. Does it work? It's working all right. Fine. Because the setup is running, you are being able to study, you are getting food, clothing, shelter. That means it's working. Funds are coming in. It's working. Good enough. What are you bothered about? Or you will fall for the first sari you see. Outside you didn't want to get involved in a relationship, but there you will involve. It is natural because as an act of will you are keeping away from all this, not as an act of growth. Not as an act of growth. Act of growth is great. Act of will, it will burst through. It will burst through. I know years back when I had not yet left Chinmaya Mission, within 1 week of this guy, he was much senior to me, age-wise also, about 10, 15 years my senior. Within a week of taking sannyasa, he got involved with someone. I came to know about it. He knew, I knew. I kept quiet. I said, that is between him and his guru. No, I am not supposed to get involved. That's between him and his guru. Where am I supposed to get in? Because he knew, I knew, he wanted to speak to me about it. He said, I don't know why I got involved. I said, I know. Why? Because now you have taken sannyasa, you are not supposed to get involved. And you couldn't handle that denial. That is not available for you. So you got involved. Ah, correct. How do you know? I said, I know you, na, good enough. I know you, good enough. I know the situation. Yeah. No growth. No growth. Sannyasi mindset. Understand this. Sannyasa is here. You are not dependent on anything. That means you are not afraid of anything. You are involved in life. Certain things you may keep away from because there is no dependence. Some of you, for a wise person getting involved with someone of the opposite sex, will it make a difference? No, it will not make a difference. Then why does the sannyasi keep away? Because he doesn't need it, number one. Doesn't want to complicate his life and the other person's life also. Why? Because anyone who is getting involved generally is looking for a little bit more long term, little bit for commitment. Haven't you heard people coming and telling, this relationship is not going anywhere? So where do you expect it to go? Where do you expect it to go? Everyone uses the statement. Because you want more out of it, more out of it. As a sannyasi, you can't give that, man or woman. Sannyasi is a term including men and women both. Okay, there is no. You don't have to say sannyasini for a woman. Sannyasi, the term is applicable equally for man and woman. Yeah, you don't have to. So then what? So don't complicate the other person's life. You can handle it without any issue. The other person cannot handle it. Therefore, you keep away. For you, what does it make a difference? Nothing. Nothing really. It's some nice bonding experience. Bas ho gaya, aur kya? Nice. It's an experience. Good. What else is there? Understand that this is important. And only in a relationship there is what is also known as Runana Bandham. Runana Bandham is a karmic entangle that happens. When you have physical intimacy, there is a karmic entanglement that happens. Yeah. You're tied up with the jiva. So when sannyasi gets involved like that, he doesn't have karmic entanglement if he is a wise person. After that, videha mukti. But what will the other person do with that karmic entanglement? You're complicating their lives. Don't. Please don't do that. That is why it is said that certain things sannyasi will not get involved with. Yeah. Unless he knows how to release that person from the karmic entanglement. That's another big story. I don't want to go into all that. Okay. Therefore, he says that, okay, yam sannyasa-miti prahu, yogam tadviddi pandavaha. That is also called as yoga. Why? Pursuing the knowledge, taking care of your mindset. Karma yoga gives you that shantaha. Mind is not shaken by success, failure, gain or loss. It's fine. Sannyasi is the name, centered, fine. That's why I always say, karma yoga is mandatory. Sannyasa is optional. Karma yoga is mandatory because without karma yoga you are not going to get a mindset. Once you have gained a mindset, then you can decide you want to change your lifestyle or not. Sannyasa is optional. Enough here, all this. Why am I wasting time in all my job, this, that, etc. Let me take the fast track and go. I fulfilled all my responsibility. Go, take the fast track. It's okay. Tam viddhi pandavaha. Nahi Asanyasta sankalpaha yogi bhavati kaschana. Because, he says, he gives another reason. You cannot become a yogi unless you have given up the sankalpaha. What is the sankalpaha? Here, sankalpa is a decision, is an intention. Here is also used in the terms of you are intending to get something and become happy. Isn't it? Behind every desire is an intention. What is the intention behind it? You want to be happy, no? What is the intention behind anything? Ultimately, what is the intention? Why are you doing what you are doing? Time pass. Where do you want to pass your time? Mastram hoke baith jao na. Yeah, I can't sit down like that. I need to do something. Otherwise, I get bored. Bored of what? Yourself? What are you getting bored of? Only you are there. This intention to get something and become happy from there. Make that shift. You're already Ananda. That is the teaching. You're already Ananda. Any Ananda that comes out of fulfilling a desire is only the Ananda that you are manifesting itself. Any experiential Ananda is nothing but the manifesting of the Ananda that you are. Your mind was projected into a desire. I want that, I want that. You got it. Fine. The projecting mind cleared the Ananda that you are manifest in the mind. So, for some time you are walking on air. You are walking on air, literally. After that, what happens? Because I don't know the truth, my self-ignorance covers up that experience of Ananda. I will come back to normal. It's like this man telling the girl, please tell me those 3 words, they'll make me walk on air. Walk on air. Go hang yourself. Okay. 3 words you want to know. That sannyas, that sankalpa, that shift has to happen in your mindset. That's all the learning. I am Ananda. I want this. Okay, I want it. But it will help manifest the Ananda that I am. But I will not get dependent on it because I know it's Ananda that I am. So who doesn't like an experience of Ananda? Tell me. Tell me, anyone here doesn't like an experiential Ananda? Doesn't enjoy a good meal? Doesn't enjoy going out to a beautiful place? Doesn't enjoy meeting friends? I mean, anyone here? I enjoy all this. So what is that experience? Ananda that I am manifesting. I am either simply sitting Ananda or manifested Ananda, which is true for everyone. So even without being completely rooted in that Ananda, you need to make that shift of understanding. Hey, I am really speaking Ananda. It's not very clear to me. I got glimpses into it. When the teacher was explaining in the class, I got glimpses into it. I am not yet rooted into it. That's okay. But I made that shift. I am Ananda. Now I am working on making it a part of my life. And in between I have some desires to fulfill. Let me fulfill it. It's okay. Karma Yogi. But that fundamental shift has happened. That's a little bit more advanced level of Karma Yoga. Beginning, you are working to fulfill only a desire, Ishwararpanam Prasada Buddhi. Later, that little shift happens. Later on, even more shift happens, only responsibilities are there, nothing else. Why? Because I am Ananda, I don't need all those things. It's okay. Responsibilities I will take care of. Duties I will take care of. That's it. I mean, you can still be moved by simple things, that's okay. That shows you are a sensitive human being. Because this knowledge is not meant to make you insensitive. That's important to understand. People mistake this knowledge that I must not react anything makes me insensitive. That is not true. I need to be sensitive. But a sensitive person can cry for nothing. That will go with the Karma Yoga Buddhi. You're sensitive already. Like the other day I got moved by an ad. Can you imagine someone like me being moved by an advertisement? It's an advertisement about Z Cinema, Z TV. It shows the soldier, Subedar Major, being called for active duty. And next month is his daughter's wedding. So he says, Beta, I have to go. So the wife says, go. We will see how, we will take care of things. Go. She's a warrior's wife, all right. So he goes. So the daughter is saying, Mama, how will we manage everything? Daddy is not here. So two people are passing on a cycle, Don't worry, we'll take care of all the invitations. Another guy lands him. Contractor in charge for Pandal reporting to duty. I forgot to take the caterer's address. Neighbor's lady is saying, don't worry, she's our daughter, we'll take care of the catering. So like this, the whole society, this thing. And when this man is coming back after a month on duty, he managed to get a couple of days off and come. Everything said, how did all this happen? So the neighbors say, if you are standing for us on the front, can't we not stand for the family? It's such a simple thing. I got touched by that because this is exactly what I want to see happening with the soldiers' family all over India. It happens in some communities, I have seen that, where the villages, whole village, 20% of the village is involved in the army. There I have seen this, but not other ways. Yeah. Moving ahead, you are sensitive enough to be moved or you are not? It says, ad yaar. But this is what you would like to see. Isn't this what you would like to see? Yeah. The guy is risking his life for you. You can't give a helping hand for his family? Come on. What is this? And one politician said, but that is their job to die for the country. I'm telling you, if I was around there, I would have chopped off his head. Showed him what it means to die. That way that George Fernandez did something very nicely with the bureaucrats. They were not releasing funds to buy snowshoes. Forget snowmobiles, etc. Snowshoes. We used to send them to Siachen, crazy. Spend 3 days there and come back. All the 4-5 bureaucrats going and sending them to Siachen. Siachen is the worst place on earth to be. If you can't handle the cold. Even if you can handle the cold, it is tough. I have trekked near there, I know. You can't trek up to Siachen, you are not allowed. But I trekked close by. Long back, 20 years ago. One of the worst places to be. Now go find out how they live. Don't say it is their duty, etc. They feel it like that. That doesn't mean you can thrust it on them. So that sensitivity as a human being needs to be there. To appreciate the morning sunlight, the dawn breaking. To be able to appreciate the good things in life. I mean, that sensitivity should not be lost. Hey, but there is nothing but manifesting the Ananda that I am. That understanding should be at the back of everything. Yeah. Compassion. Idiots don't understand. Yeah, it's all right. So even if you feel like chopping off their heads, you won't do it. Compassion also comes in. Idiots. Idiots. India is a free country. There are some idiots around now. What to do? Okay. So, nahi sanyasya sankalpaha yogi bhavati sakashana. That means what? Ekam yogam cha sankyam cha ya pashyati sa pashyati. Who sees sannyasa and yoga as one, he sees the whole thing. Then he gives another beautiful verse here. Arurukshor munir yogam karma karana muchyate yoga rudasya tasyeva shamak karana muchyate. Very beautifully presented. Arurukshu. That Munihi yogam arurukshu. One who wants to climb or mount the horse called yoga. No, because you want to be a yogi. Karma yogi. Yogi you want to be. Karma karana muchyate. Karma is a karana. Because to get that yogi's mindset, the shantaha, shanto bhava, the shanta bhavana, if you have to get, karma karana uchyate, because there's both bhusa vara hua andar. Raga dvesha, there's likes, dislikes, etc. You don't even know how many buttons you are unless you get involved in life. How many buttons you have. Somebody presses you at work, you understand. Arey yaar, ye bhi tha. Why am I getting angry? Just he said something. Correct. He said and you are getting angry. There's a button in you. That is your erroneous zones. Zone of error. Where you have some wrong conditioning in your mind. So all this you will understand only when you get involved in life. Not by withdrawing from life. Therefore, arurukshuhu munihi. Yogam arurukshuhu. One who wants to climb the house of yoga. Meaning, get that samatva buddhi. Karma karana muchyate. Karma is a means. With prasad buddhi, ishwararpanam, etc. That's understood. You can't say karma, I keep on doing karma. So work for Reliance. They'll make you work 24 hours a day if they can. That doesn't make you a yogi. It only makes you stressed out. Heart attack. Yeah, by 40 you get, by 40, 30s you will get a heart attack. It doesn't solve anything. Yeah. Therefore, Ishwararpanam and Prasada Buddhi makes Karma Yoga. Therefore, that with that attitudes, Karma Karana Uchyate. Now what? I'm Yoga Rudaha. I got the Samatva Buddhi actually. Then what? Shamak Karana Uchyate. Now you want to know the truth. Shamaha. Quieten down. Quieten down. Don't run around. Priorities taken care of, responsibilities fulfilled, etc. Yep. Quieten down. Quieten down. All your corners have been rounded off well. No more buttons to press. You're taken care of your all the nonsense in your mind. Yeah. Then what? Then I'm still going on doing. Yeah. Shamakarna uchyate. Relax. Quieten down. Yeah. Karma has given you what it has to give. Quieten down a bit. That is sannyasa. Shama here stands for sannyasa. Sannyasa then, or kya? Samjhi, in today's life, sannyasa is not practical. Tell me why not? Give me one good reason why. If your responsibilities, etc., I can understand it. Other than that, I'm talking. Yoga Rudha you have become. Then what? You are retired. Your children don't want you only. They don't have time for you. They are too busy with their lives. Such stage also happens in life. They are too busy. No, but the grandchildren, I'll go and give a help with grandchildren. Good, not bad. But you brought up your children. Give the children the joy of growing up by taking care of their children. You don't become the substitute parent. At the most, you are a helping hand. Nothing more than that. I know one of my friends' mothers, very, very clean lady in that. She had 4 daughters. She told all of them when they got married, 3 are married. See, I brought you all up. When you have kids, I will give you a helping hand. But parenting is your job. Tell me what help you want, I will give it to you. But parenting is your job, not my job. I brought up 4 kids, huh? Good enough. Huh? This objectivity to have. Otherwise, there is always conflict between the parent and the grandparent of how to bring up the children. This worked in our time. Correct. In present time, it may work, may not work. You may feel they are being too permissive. Maybe. Let them learn the hard way. Let the parent and the child learn it the hard way. You made your mistake, let them make their mistakes. I want them to benefit from my experience when they ask for it. Give the advice only when they ask for it. Otherwise, don't. Samji, that is easy to say. You feel you don't have any control over life, therefore you are trying to control others. That's all that is the matter. Why? Because no job. It's like, I don't know how many of you know, wives dread their husbands retiring. Why? Because they start reorganizing the kitchen, this, that, labeling everything. My God, eh. Yeah. I'm talking of my time, men and women, okay? Shamak karanam uchyate, don't. Take a step back, quieten that mind, be contemplative. When necessary, you can do a lot of stuff. But many people don't do that, don't know how to do it. I remember down my road, there were so many youngsters, I was getting complaints about their parents from the youngsters. Okay. My father, he interferes in my work and with my children. I don't know how, we are all staying together because we are not well off enough to move, have separate houses and things like that. How do you take care of this? I can't tell all of them, come to my class. I don't want them in my class. Man's retirement for very similar reason. Yes, you are right, Prashant, that happens. So, now how to handle this? Because all of them used to tell me, after retirement we'll come to the class. And one or two I said, hey, you were saying this after retirement, you come. No, now I'm busy with my grandchildren. I said, Revadi, these characters will never come. But they're creating problems for the. So I got all the older people involved in the area local management. This was some 10 years ago. Now with the redevelopment and all, that is not functional. But 20 years ago, the advanced local area management, there was an ALM. Okay, they would interact with the BMC to manage the facilities down the road, the municipality, etc. You see all of them as though they get new jobs now. Busy running around organizing things. At least they're out of their children's hair. Stopgap solution. They are not grown enough anyway. What can I do? I cannot ensure people's growth unless they come to me. Even then I can't ensure it, okay? Unless they make an effort. So, yoga arudasya shama karanam uchyate. Shama, quite. Yeah. Your time for heavy duty activity is over. Step back. Vanaprastha. Minimum, if not sannyasa. Minimum vanaprastha. But vanaprastha means you got out of the house, you went to the forest. Forest means some ashram or the other. Yeah. Not a retirement home. Ashram is not a retirement home. Yeah. So don't think of ashrams as a retirement home. That won't work. Yeah. Ashram has got a different type of. The Shama has got different type of activity. Yeah. Those who come to my camps know how it is. How intense that studies can be. Yeah. Full timers will have that. Yeah. In fact, even if I don't select, we have a selection process, but even if I don't select, I know one thing. Those who are not ready for it will drop out of it. They won't be able to handle the intensity. So, that way, that learning to quieten down. But for that, raga, dvesha, etc. has to be taken care of. Priorities have to be fulfilled. Otherwise, they will drag you. So, take care of it there and then come into this. If you are taking care of raga, dveshas, you are an arurukshu. You are not becoming a yoga arudaha. So, how do you become a yoga arudaha? When these two definitions are applicable to you. Two definitions of yoga are applicable to you. Two definitions we have seen. What is that? Second, third chapters?
Samatvam yoga uchyate. Exactly. And yoga karma sukaushalo.
A personal competency you have gained by getting involved in life, and samatvam you have had. If these two are applicable to you, you are yoga arudaha. But samatvam only if the situations are challenging. You are doing nothing, staying at home and saying, I am samatvam. Check out how much samatvam is there when your phone is not available 24 hours. Then you'll understand how much samatvam is there. Okay. Yeah. Not available, ठीक है. That's it. Therefore, once you have that samatvam and kaushalatvam, yoga has fulfilled its job for you. You're a competent person. Personal competency. Competency is a job, has got two aspects to it. One is the professional skills and one is the personal skills. What today is called as people management or HR and things like that. It's not about the system, about you. So that is taken care of. Kushalata and samatvam, balance in terms of raga, dvesha, etc. Then you are yoga rudaha. Then why are you getting involved in something you don't have to? No, because responsibilities are understandable. Children are young, is that father is elderly, not well, he needs a helping hand at home. Understandable. But he needs a helping hand. Of course, you are supposed to take care of your parents. How much? Up to you. How you do it? Up to you. No, I must do everything for him myself. Arey, he is not well. Help him by keeping a nurse or a man to help him. No, I will do everything myself. This is again control freak coming in differently. Your control problems are coming in differently in the name of love and duty. That's all. My children will eat only the food cooked by me. And they like the maids cooking better. And you can't stand that. No, Swamiji, we are Brahmanas, we do all this work, na? So we have to have a Brahmin cook. Why are you taking a Brahmin and asking him to do Shudra karma? Paricharyatmakam karma Shudra miti uchyate. The Shudra karma. Why are you asking him to do that? I can understand if it is a temple prasada, etc. Like for the pujas, we have to make prasada, we have taken a cook from here. Because that had to be made specially with an extra level of purity, etc. Are you getting the idea of what I am saying? Look at your conditionings. Look at what's happening in your mind. Samatvam and kushalatvam will come there. Then you are yoga ruda. Once you are yoga ruda, quiet and down. See about it. Learn. You have a lot of time available. You have competency. You have balance in life. Learn. Spend that time. You still have 20 years to live. You are 60 or 20 years to live. How will moksha not be yours, I am telling you? How will moksha not be yours? I will be surprised if it doesn't happen. If samatvam is there, kushalatvam is there, and commitment to learn for the next 20 years is there, how will yoga not happen? How will knowledge not happen? Somebody put 10 years, I listen, nothing's happening. Check up inside what is wrong, what is missing. Have a one-to-one with me. Yeah. Then we will see, we will explore what's happening. Okay? Alright. Then there's more on this line, but good place to stop. We'll see that next class. Okay. Om Tat Sat.